Hello, I'm Danica. I teach pilates in the San Francisco Bay Area. Today I'm going to take you through a 5-10-ish series that will help wake up our feet, help with some foot pain, calf pain, those Charlie horses that we get sometimes in the middle of the night, and just some stuff that's helpful for those of us who are spending a little more time sitting than we are normally used to. So I like to do this first thing in the morning before I even get out of bed. So you can keep something like a yoga strap, even an old belt or a towel or like an old tie next to your bed to do this. You could also do this in the middle of the day. You don't have to do this first thing out of bed. But if you do get those really bad Charlie horse cramps, I say do this before you step foot on the floor first thing in the morning. All right, so we're gonna imagine that we just got out of bed, or just woke up, that is, because we're still in bed. And we're gonna lay down and just start with one foot at a time, mobilizing our foot and ankle. So whichever foot you wanna start with, you're just gonna reach your foot up, and you're gonna make a little circle with your foot, trying to make it as circular as possible. Sometimes it feels like a triangle or a square or an oval. Let's switch directions. I'm just trying to make it as circular as possible and as three-dimensional as possible. So we're trying to point to the floor, to each of the walls, and then ideally towards our head. All right, just give that foot a little shake out, and then we'll do the other side. Third foot up, we're gonna circle. And if just this act of keeping your leg up like this is creating any discomfort or tension in your body, you could always do this seated with your feet hanging off of the bed, so you're seated upright. You don't have to work your quads and your hip flexors like crazy. Switch directions with their circles while I talk to you. You don't have to work them too hard to keep your leg up. And then give it a little shake out. Let's return to our first leg. Leg up, we're gonna flex our foot as much as we can, point the foot as much as we can. Like a ballerina, flex and point, flex and point. And this is just to get some blood flowing, especially if we really are doing this when we first wake up. And to get a little bit of movement before we do a deeper stretch. Let's do one more. And then we'll switch. Left foot up, or other foot, whichever foot is the other foot for you. You're gonna point and flex. And I like to imagine as I point my foot, I'm trying to grab a hold of like a little stack of toothpicks or something. If you did my hand and wrist video, there was another reference to imaginary toothpicks there. I don't have a toothpick thing. It just tends to help with the hands and feet and visuals. Let's do one more time like that. And then we'll relax the feet. We're gonna grab our strap now, or towel, or your belt, or tie, and put it around the ball of one of your feet. Then you're gonna flex your foot by pulling the strap down a little bit, as much as you can comfortably. Your hamstrings may be a little tighter, your leg out here, that's totally fine. You just wanna go where your knee is all the way straight, because that's gonna get your calf, Achilles, and all the attachments where they and your hamstrings meet in the back of the knee. You can also try straightening your other leg out. That will oftentimes deepen the stretch by anchoring our hips. And then let your knee start to bend a little, still holding the stretch, and you're gonna feel the stretch starts to move towards the Achilles area or the back of the ankle. And then the easiest way to switch sides, just thread your foot through it. So we'll start with our legs straight, and again our foot flexed by actively pulling down with our strap. And notice if you've got your big toe or your pinky toe maybe a little closer to the floor than others, like you're flexed more on one side than the other, and just see how much you can even it out. And then we're gonna let our knees start to bend, and again, we're gonna feel that stretch moving towards the Achilles area. All right, we're gonna let go of that. Let's put our strap out of the way. So that little sequence is great if you get plantar fasciitis or you get some intense calf or foot cramps throughout the day. it's awesome to start with that first thing. If none of those things apply to you, that's a great thing to do after this series because our feet and our calves will be warmed up from what I'm about to show you. So again, spending all this time sitting, right, our feet are not really doing their job. They're not in contact with the earth. If they are, they're generally in shoes. They're spending a lot less time getting to do their job. So as a result, the rest of our bodies start to get confused. We can feel ungrounded. We can also get some pain in our legs and ankles. So I would say take a few minutes of a break from whatever you're doing at work, at your computer, or whatever. Try to do this 1 or 2 or 3 times a week. So we're going to start with our feet hip joint distance apart, and we're just going to raise our heels. Lift the heels, lower them down. Lift the heels, and lower. And I don't have a wall here, but my favorite way to do this is standing with my back up against a wall. And I try to keep my back up against the wall as I lift my heels. And if you decide to try that right now, you may notice that you kind of lean off of the wall a little before you lift the heels. And if you really work to keep your back sliding up and down that wall, you'll feel a lot more work through the whole back of your leg, the whole back of the leg. And we're trying to go straight up. Really try to lift through the arch. Think of ballerinas on point, that big, beautiful arch. It serves a function. Let's go 2 more and 1 more. We'll set our heels down and then we'll isolate one side a little more than the other. So I'm going to keep right heel down. It's my left, it's your right. This heel down, this leg straight, and this leg is going to act as a little bit of a kickstand just with the knee bent so that it helps me balance. You're going to find something to look at that's at the height of your eyes for balance, and then just lift and lower that same heel. So I'm just up and down on the right heel here. And let's just say 10 for today. And again, that feeling of going straight up, or maybe you're still up against that wall. Let's go 2 and 1. And then we'll switch sides. Switch which heel is down, other leg acts as a kickstand, and up and down. Try to stay up against that real wall or that imaginary wall. Three, 2, and 1. And then we'll set it down. We're going to give our legs a little shake out. So we worked right this back area, the back of the leg, the sole of the foot. We're going to work the front now. These are our anti-fall muscles. So if you need a little assistance with balance, you can do this seated and your legs straight out. You can do this with your hands at a wall or hand on a wall or a rail or a chair, or you could just work your balance. So you're going to stick one leg out and then you're going to flex your foot and then point. Flex and point. And really we're focusing on this flexing action of pulling the toes back towards the knee, and you're going to feel the front of your shins and ankles working. 3, 2, and 1. And then we'll switch sides. I'll turn around for no other reason than I'll be looking the other way this time. We're going to point and flex. Try to keep your knees straight as you do this. This whole line, right, of these ankle flexors. They work with our quads, the front of our thighs. So having the quads actively straightening our knees will help those things work together and form a happy relationship. We've got 3, 2, and 1. And then set it down. I like to shake my feet and ankles out after I do that sequence. And then last, you're going to go to a wall. If you need the balance, you can put your hands up the wall. Step your left foot forward, right foot back, and then you're just going to reach that right heel towards the floor as much as you can. We're stretching through the back, right, of our right calf and ankle. You could try coming a little bit more back onto your back leg. It may shift your stretch into a little less intense place, or if you come forward a little more, it's going to make it a little more intense. And then we're going to bend the back knee a little bit, again getting a little more into the Achilles area. You would have your hands here if you needed that balance. And then let's switch sides. Other heel back. Try to anchor your heel to the floor. Straighten that knee as much as you can. Again, find your happy place, maybe coming back a little so that we are lessening the degree that our ankle is flexed, right? Decreasing the intensity of that stretch, or maybe you lean forward a little more to increase that intensity a little. And my general rules for stretching is I'm breathing easily, my face isn't doing something weird, and I'm not tensing everything else in my body. So if those things are in play and it's not hurting any joints, you're in a good spot. And then we're going to let that back knee bend a little. Again, moving a little more into the Achilles area, the back of our ankle. And then step it on in. Last one, we're going to stretch the top of the foot. I'll do this here. Set the top of the foot down, back behind you a little bit, and then you're going to bend into both knees, pressing the top of your foot into the floor. So that, again, you're feeling the top of your foot stretched, the front of your ankle, and maybe the shin area as well. And then we'll switch. Again, you can have hands on your wall here, on a chair, something for a little balance assistance if needed. All right, one last time, let's shake our feet and ankles out. And that's it for our little foot and ankle series. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that it's helped with whatever ailment you may or may not have, and for keeping some strength in the future. Hope to see you guys soon.